All right, so today in closing arguments, so let's assume for the sake of our analysis, it's going to be Attorney Joe Tacopina for the defense and then Deputy District Attorney John Lewin for the state of California. We saw him in that major prosecution of the Jinx. Robert Durst, Deputy DA Lewin and John Tacopina are Joe Tacopina rather, are very seasoned lawyers. They're very good at what they do. So our first question to our power panel, which side do you believe is going to win the closing arguments? Just the closing arguments. Let's talk about that. Let's bring in attorney John Phillips, entertainment commentator Holland Reed, and firearms expert Dr. Jason Piccolo. Good morning to you all. Okay, Dr. Jason, let me go to you. You've also served in law enforcement. You've had a long, illustrious career. You're an author, too. But getting right to it, you've looked at these facts from both sides. Who do you think is going to argue the better close?
I think the prosecution team. I mean, this whole thing with the prop gun, it's got my mind boggled. And that gun is in the wind. It's on the bottom of a river somewhere, if there is actually one. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the prosecution on this one. The prosecution. Holland Reed, let me go to you next. Who do you think is going to win the closing arguments? I'm not necessarily saying the trial, but just the closes.
I'm going to go with ASAP Rocky's team. Again, like, where's the smoking gun? The plaintiff here and the witness, he was incredible. There are so many lies, deleted text messages. He's asking for money. I think the closing arguments are going to go for ASAP Rocky for sure.
Holland, appreciate it. Okay, John Phillips, before we have you break the tie, I've got a clip here. This is with the alleged victim, Terrell Efron. On the stand, ASAP Relly is his stage name, and he's talking about how he collected the spent cartridge casings. Let's watch.
All I know, I went back and found the bullets. I don't know who that is or what time, or I know I came back within an hour. I'm confused on what this is right here.
As you sit here right now, do you have any recollection of how long it took you to find these fired cartridge cases after you went back to the scene?
Probably took me no longer than 2-3 minutes.
Okay, so John Phillips, as you know, the first responders, the police, they didn't see any spent cartridge casings, but Mr. Relly did, and they came from a real gun. Whether it was the gun used in the incident, we don't know. Who do you think is going to win the closings?
I also like the defense team. You know, when you've got great defendants, great lawyers. Look, the thing that we don't know, and I haven't watched every minute of the trial, but like Rocky is charismatic, and you've seen both Rocky and Relly kind of get in it with the judge, and they're both trying to get their stories, you know, across, and not just through their own testimony, but through, you know, the testimony of others. And you know, I know our gun expert can weigh in on the powder residue and how this was more akin to a prop gun or that type of gun than a gun that actually fired a bullet. And you know, without the gun, you can't match the casings. But I like the defense team. I think they've made a good argument throughout, and never bet against Joe Tacopina.
Yeah, no doubt about it. These lawyers are excellent. They are really. I'm just looking forward to watching the closings. I mean, really, they're such good lawyers. Young law students and inexperienced lawyers should watch Tacopina and Lewin and see how they do things. They're both sensational. So let's talk about the gun. So we have one of the most recent defense witnesses presented, as you all know, was Jamel Phillips, ASAP 12E, again, in that same collective with Rocky and Relly. He was there for the incident in question. He says it was a starter pistol that was used, a prop gun. Let's take a look.
Would you agree that if it's a prop gun, and that Relly knows it's a prop gun, that it's going to have no effect on stopping Relly from doing anything because he already knows it's prop gun?
Correct, because it didn't stop him, yes.
You're telling me that when Relly is running around, that he still knows it's prop gun, correct?
He wasn't running around. He's hitting hitters, so he's not running nowhere.
Okay. But that entire time, you're saying Relly knows it's prop gun?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm sure the jurors wanted to see a gun. They wanted to see some evidence. There's no real gun. There's no prop gun. There's no gun being brought into that courtroom. Okay, Dr. Jason Piccolo, our gun expert, do you think that there's ever going to be any weapon located pertaining to this case ever at any point in time?
No, not at all. And I would think if they did have a quote-unquote prop gun or a starter pistol, that they would have pictures of it. They would have a chain of custody somewhere or just a receipt of it wherever he picked it up from whatever film crew he had. But yeah, like I said before, I think that if there ever was a prop gun or even a real gun, it's in the bottom of a river somewhere.
I think you're right, Dr. Jason. Holland Reed, let me go to you for your thoughts on this. And will we ever see a gun of any sort?
No, not at all. We've already said that the tour manager is testifying that he gave it back to the co-director of the music video. We can't locate it anywhere. I feel like this is just going to be another Hollywood story that's going to just go off into the sunset because there's no there there. There's just no there there, Julie. And that's the problem here. The witnesses are all over the place. They're agitated on stand. It's very messy and dramatic. We want it to be over with. We were happy to see Rihanna. We're done. Let's close this out and just dismiss the whole case. Hollywood is on A$AP Rocky's side, and I believe the law will be as well.
And Holland, thank you so much for that. That was something I wanted to ask you today because you certainly have your finger on the pulse of what's going on in Hollywood. You know, you're in Hollywood, essentially. You're in the entertainment industry. You're an actress. You're a photographer. You're so talented. Is what you're hearing from people, others is that people think this case shouldn't have been brought?
Absolutely. It should not have been brought. You've got 50 Cent literally going to, Instagram and saying, we know this really is very messy and really has his own set of legal issues regarding money grabs. And so we've got the entertainment industry going, why are we harping on this? We know that the gun was not real. We know that A$AP Rocky is a stand-up guy. He's not been in any trouble up into this incident. So just let it go. He wants to move on. He wants to be a father, and he wants to continue his music career. And I think it's time to let it go.
This is really helpful insight. Holland, thank you for that. John Phillips, this makes me think of something else that I think is really important to discuss. And you know this well from being on the side of celebrities. You represent celebrity clients. And I can think back to when I was an assistant district attorney, and we were always told in my former office, you treat everybody the same. We don't care how famous somebody is. They don't get anything extra special or anything more harsh when it comes to their case. It is all fair. Tell me, do you think that the district attorney's office in Los Angeles would proceed on this case if it weren't a famous defendant?
I don't. This set of facts happens probably, every week, if not more often there. And you don't see all of those charges. But when you have, celebrities and kind of A$AP infighting, I'm dealing with it in Florida with the YNW. Unfortunately, my client was killed. But you do have added pressure to get it right, and these prosecutors do like the spotlight as well. And I wanted to add another point from my prior point.
Sure.
I was in court this week, and a civil attorney, much like most of what I do, asked for a 20-day trial from the judge. And the judge, to your point earlier about the law students and folks watching this wanting to get in the legal profession, said, I've seen murder trials resolved in 5 days, guys. Go watch great attorneys do what they do in criminal trial and learn from that, because brevity is important. And it's true. And so, at the end of the day, they've gotten this thing done, and what it costs taxpayers and all that really doesn't matter in the scheme of things, because you do have to prosecute. You do have to show that celebrities can be held accountable too.
Mm-hmm. Right. And John Lewin, in all fairness to him, he is a stand-up guy. He is honest. He has integrity. He's proven that for many years. That's why he's a deputy DA. He firmly believes in this case that they have the evidence on their side. So we'll see what the jury believes. Perhaps today we get a verdict. I don't know, but great discussion with you all. Holland and John, I have to say goodbye to you both. Thank you for your time and expertise this morning. We'll see you both soon. And Dr. Jason's coming with us. We want you to do the same, please. When we return, we're being a voice for victims this morning.